Gas Network presents Sports for the Culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I,
Rome,
D-Malo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Buggy, man.
To the greatest sports show on the planet, La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
What up, man? It's your favorite sports show, man. Guys present Sports for the Culture, man. I'm the host for the evening. My name is Gruff Lion. I'm rocking the Iron Mike Tyson for the knockout that was delivered at FedEx Field. Shout out up to 3 quarters. The Washington Commanders are a sorry football team, and the Eagles are still undefeated. Let's introduce the gang. Top right, introduce yourself, loser.
Since we want to be technical, yes, the Eagles did shut the Commanders out for 3 quarters, but they were also shut out for 3 quarters, as both teams only scored in 1 quarter each. All right, I want the record to reflect that.
That's fair.
I want the record to reflect that right there.
Very,
right?
very, very true.
That's a little fact for all these people that love to exist in fiction land. Just bring you back one time, man. But yeah, man, y'all know the name. At Bryce XXV Double I. Follow me everywhere you can follow somebody at, except to my crib. You might be in trouble if you do that. But yeah, it was a long weekend for us Commanders fans, and we look to bounce back in Dallas. But the grass is always greener, so it's a long NFL season, man. Very long NFL season. Remember, I said that.
Yeah, long season, man. Long season for sure. Bottom left, introduce yourself.
It's your boy D-Malo, and I just want to start off by saying to every fucking bum-ass pitcher out there that is scared to actually pitch to my boy Judge, go to a Frank stand where Bryce and Rome live at, where the rest of those Commanders live at, because they got to bust their servant for being fucking bums. I hate you fucking bums. All the sports hate you. Pitch to my man correctly, or don't get on that fucking mound. Because y'all better just wasting our damn time. My boy Judge is ready to hit the last 2 homers. A bunch of scared I don't even want to call yourself bitches, because I see some tough females that are bitches. I don't even want to call y'all Punani, because Punanis could take the hit. Pause. That's some punks. I hate it. Just pitch to my man correctly.
Who are you talking about, bro?
I'm talking about every pitcher that Judge has faced after he hit the 60 run. No one's been trying to pitch to my man correctly. They just been walking the boy. It's a shame that we can't get these pitchers to pitch to our boy correctly.
So you
He
mad
beat
they
by
don't
the
want to have the
record.
record. They don't want to have the record on them.
Yeah.
They would have had it against Boston, but Boston just walked them. They only gave him 1 or 2 pitches every time he got to the mound, and the rest of them just fucking straight balls. They've been walking, Judge. Judges just walking and walk.
I mean, that's part of the game, bro. It's what happens when you do those numbers. But hey, just remember, it's gonna make it all that much sweeter when he hits it.
Bro, is it?
If he hits it.
Yeah. He's a walking walk.
If he hits it. Make sure you get that in there.
Bottom right, introduce yourself.
Man, you know who it is, Young Rome 22. Last week is behind us. We are on to week 4, so we're not going to talk about week 3 no more from this moment on. Let's get it.
All right, first topic of the show. We're going to talk about week 3. All right. Nah, seriously though, week 3 just passed us, man. We ain't gonna spend too much time on week 3. We're gonna talk about what the collection is of these weeks. But first, we're gonna talk about week 3. Real quickly, opening topic, man. Usually we talk about the Monday night game, but that was poom for real.
All right.
It was, bro. I didn't even watch that joint.
Yeah, because you a hater.
Yeah, nah.
Because, it was better than that San Francisco game. I'll tell you that much.
Pretty good game.
It
was a pretty good game.
So let's talk about week 3, man. What are y'all biggest takeaways from week 3, man? Rome, I'm gonna start with you.
Damn. All right. My biggest takeaway, honestly, is that the league is kind of wide open this year. I think, it's still pretty early on, obviously. So I'm not, using this as a cop out take, but like, I feel like this is setting up to be a wild season. I feel like it's going to be a lot of parity in the league. I feel like we're going to do contenders and pretenders later, and that's actually going to be a great segment because there's a lot of contenders and a lot of pretenders, and it's going to be hard to weed them out this year because, like Bryce was saying earlier, it's a long NFL season. And that was really my biggest takeaway from week 3 is teams that we thought would be 2-1, 3-0 are 1-2, 0-3, and some teams that you wouldn't have expected to look as nice as they have are looking really nice. Dolphins, Eagles, case in point. I don't know how many people had them undefeated at this point. So, that was really my biggest takeaway from week 3 is the unknown of the NFL.
G, actually, you didn't say they were going to be undefeated. You said they were going to the Super Bowl. All right. So, I mean, it's not February yet. So, but T did say two predictions that were said early. T did say that the Eagles would be 6-0. So far, they are 3-0. And you did, G, say that the Miami Dolphins would be. You said you believed in Tua, and so far he looks pretty good. And the Dolphins are undefeated. That was a big game this weekend. Was the Bills and the Dolphins, and that's one of my bigger takeaways of the weekend. The undefeateds. Let's keep running riding. Josh Allen had a chance to win that game, and Tua and the boys held on, man. Jalen Hurts, Tua, the Dolphins and the Eagles, two of the undefeated teams, still making them away. And I do think the shit's wide open though, and I don't think we could crown anybody at this point. G, what's your biggest takeaway from this past weekend, man?
Oh, fucking Lamar Jackson look like a fucking stud. Lamar Jackson and I called it earlier, and I called it also. Lamar Jackson, league MVP. Don't two guys forget that either. And I called this Miami thing. And I also called the Bengals situation. And I didn't think they're gonna be that good. I still don't think they're that great. I'm loving what I'm seeing with Lamar Jackson right now. He's doing it with one receiver and one tight end, and like damn near a running back committee, which he's a starting back. Lamar Jackson is looking amazing right now, and I'm loving what I'm seeing at the tour. I told you, man, he has the two best receivers in the league right now. He's the best two dual receiver league right now. I don't think nobody else in the league have two better receivers than Miami right now.
Yeah, that's fair. And we're going to get into MVP conversation as well. Shit, we might as well just get into MVP conversation now, right? We just talking about it. You just talking about it. Let's get into the MVP conversation right now, man. We 3 weeks into the NFL season, man. It's probably a little too early to talk about the MVP season. But I had a quote that I saw from somebody I respect. Ryan Clark said, if you're having the MVP conversation, you're not including Jalen Hurts. You're not having the right conversation. That's what he said about my man Jalen Hurts. One time y'all said that he was a running back. You know what I'm saying? One time y'all said he was dusty, man. But he ain't dusty, man. Y'all dusty. Talking MVP right now, I think Jalen Hurts is in the conversation. Although I would give the slight edge to Lamar Jackson because he's playing out of his mind. But one thing I'll say about Jalen Hurts, man, that boy moved the sticks, man. I got 2 votes for the MVP. I'm going for the dual threat quarterbacks, man. Shout out to Lamar Jackson and shout out to Jalen Hurts.
Well,
I guess.
What he said? I didn't. Yeah, you clicked it too fast.
He said move. I said move the sticks.
No, he said something. You guess. There you go.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, legend for that. That was a wild play, man.
That was a big play.
Hey, but now Lamar definitely MVP right now. I said that when we talked about his contract, I said chances are he's gonna come out and play so crazy that like they ain't gonna have a choice to pay him. But hey, one thing I want y'all to remember is that the Jaguars are a solid team this year. I don't think they're gonna be like a playoff contender per se, but 8-9 wins for the Jaguars, I can see that, man. They got something building over there. And Derrick Henry's still the best running back in the league, yo. I got to say that. Anytime the Titans get that man 20 carries, they're going to win the game. Titans' chance of winning the game increases to 80% if Derrick Henry gets 20 or more carries. I'd be willing to bet there's stats to prove that. I wouldn't look in. I haven't looked into it, but I'd be willing to bet that their chances of winning goes way up when Derrick Henry gets 20 carries. And they gave him 20, and they won the game. But Malik Willis will be playing before the season is up. I guarantee y'all that.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for Ryan Tannehill right now out there in Tennessee, man. Honestly, Saquon Barkley looked pretty good too. I'll be willing to say that he's one of the best running backs in the league right now.
Saquon like he was back, and Zeke looked good too. Honestly, all the running backs look good early in the season, though. Usually, I mean, it's a long season.
I don't know. Tony Pollard looked way better.
What happened with Sterling Shepard on that play, bro? I've watched that play back now like 4 or 5 times, and I still can't figure out like.
So it's been an ongoing issue with MetLife Stadium. Players from all around the league has complained how hard that turf is. And just recently in the afternoon, Odell Beckham came out and shouted out that it's true. What I believe is true. What he said, where it's like, yo, they make over billions of dollars. It makes no sense that none of these stadiums have actual grass to play on, which is a lot softer and a lot easier on your legs if you're running, especially if you're the kind of runner that takes those heavy steps. You never know. It's just one wrong step. Clearly with Shepard, it was just that one step on the last play of the game.
Yeah, because it looked like he was just jogging, though. He wasn't even like he was running.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for that dude, man. That dude
and it's been an ongoing complaint with MetLife Stadium is where they got to take that turf. That's some hard-ass turf and put some Astro soft grass.
Did y'all see that play, yo? Where Shepard put his knee out? That's crazy.
Yeah, he's out for the season.
Yeah, tore ACL. But I want to say the Raiders, though, man. I didn't think the Raiders would be 0-3.
You did say the Raiders are going to be good this year, G, and right now they are 0-3. So what's the news on the Raiders, man? Are we ready to dump them? We dumping the Raiders?
I don't want to dump the Raiders because I don't think the Chargers are going to pull away with the division either. And right now the Chargers ain't any better than the Raiders. They only won one game above the Raiders. And who was in the Broncos ain't all that good neither. The Broncos got lucky the last 2 games.
So you know what? I realized, we're going to do contenders and pretenders. But before we do that, I want to talk about a couple teams that are on the wrong side of the stat column with standings. And that's the Raiders are 0-3. The Bengals are 1-2. The Patriots are 1-2. The Texans are 0-2-1. I forgot about that tie. The Commanders are at the bottom of the division, 1-2. The Seahawks are 1-2. The Lions are 1-2, and the Falcons are 1-2. Fellas, all those teams I just named are, as Rome would say, in the mud. In the mud. So out of everybody, I won't say they're not in the mud. They're actually on the toilet on the carousel going flush down. So who are you flushing out of all those teams, man? Which one of those teams is done? Super done. Anybody taking the Raiders? Bryce, who you got?
Let's remember the stats on this. Once a team goes 1-2, those teams have a 25% chance of making the playoffs. So those teams that are 1-2, your season is not done. In fact, it's far from done, right?
75% is pretty close to done.
Nah, you have a 25% chance of making the playoff before the season even starts, before the ball's even kicked. There's only 16 teams make the playoffs, so you really only have a 50% chance of making the playoffs before the football is even kicked. You know what I'm saying? So if you're 1-2, whatever, you got a 25% chance of making it. Now you really gotta claw, you really gotta fight. I think that some of these teams, especially the teams that don't play their players a lot in the preseason, are susceptible to slow starts. I mean, last year at this time, we were talking about how bad Aaron Rodgers and the Packers looked, and they ended up winning 12 games or something like that. Yeah. So you really just never know. Out of those teams, I think the Bengals are definitely going to bounce back. I think they may have had a little bit of a hangover after going to the Super Bowl, but I definitely see them bouncing back. And who was the other one? You said...
That's fair. These are teams that's fair to say bounce back. So here's the 1-2 teams. Falcons, Saints, Lions, Seahawks, Cardinals, Commanders in the NFC are all 1-2. The Jets, the Patriots, the Chargers, the Steelers, and the Bengals, and the Titans are all 1-2.
Put a fork on the Saints.
Okay, yeah. So I definitely got the Bengals coming back. And you said the Bengals I got the Bengals, man. They'll probably still make the playoffs after this. Just take some time, especially when you don't play your players in the preseason. It hurts.
Do you think the Saints are going to bounce back out of all
No,
this?
I said put a fork on the Saints. Jameis has been playing very bad ball.
Yeah, Jameis definitely not. How many touchdowns did my man say James was going to have this year? They was talking crazy about James before the season started. That's not looking too good so far. But it's a long season, very long season.
Even if that's the case, man, he still has one of the best running backs, dual threat running backs, and he has a great receiver that doesn't need you to throw him past a 50-yarder. He's good with a 10-yard ball, and he can't even get that done right. I don't think
he doing the Jameis thing where he throws as many interceptions as touchdowns,
I think he's gonna get benched for Taysom Hill soon. I'll give him one more game and they're benching him. Like I wouldn't start Jameis.
That would be bad, bro.
Look,
Think about it.
I'm not even gonna get on this Jameis thing, bro. Like I already told y'all that guy was no starting quarterback, man. Y'all tried to convince me he was gonna throw more touchdown passes than Tom Brady, bro. But let's not waste time.
I never tried. Nah, that wasn't y'all, bro. Don't say y'all like it's just the group did that. No, that was one of these individuals. I can't remember if it was Scruff or G. Honestly, I feel like it was Scruff and G agreed though, or something like that.
It was definitely Scruff.
It was 100% me. It was 100% me. I'm not bringing anyone else in. I'm not bringing anyone else in on that with me. All right.
Our guy in the group chat, shout out to my guy Chris, big Jameis fan, but
Hey, but let the records show that Tom Brady only has 3 touchdown passes this season. All right, it's a double statement. It's not all about just Jameis Winston. All right, Tom Brady is not going to do that good. That was part of the statement also. Jameis has hold on, wait for it.
1 touchdown.
Jameis has 4, so like they're on the same pace. What are we talking about here?
Nah, I mean it's early, bro, but Jameis looking like he might not.
Right now,
Jameis might not make it through the season, bro.
Right now. Hey, I said Jameis will have more touchdown passes than Tom Brady. Right now, he does have more touchdowns.
What you said? Jameis don't got no receivers?
I said Tom ain't got no receivers right now.
Oh yeah, Tom don't have no receiver. But Tom gonna be all right. They just picked up Cole Beasley.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Tom
what I mean.
Tom will end with about 40 tons, easy, bro.
All factors considered,
easy, bro.
All factors considered, you can say what you want about Jameis Winston and how poorly he's played, but he does in fact have more touchdowns than Tom Brady. So I mean, my statement is actually facts. Yep. I know.
See you week 17.
All right.
I mean, what you want to dub on that? Like, what do you want to do? Like, what? How confident are you in this? Because you sounded like you're confident.
I'm not too confident, but I'm just letting you know that I'm still right.
You sounded like easy money. So what's up, bro?
It's all for the pride, man. It's all for the pride for the fans, man.
Yeah,
it's for the fans.
So Bryce, I double checked that stat on Derrick Henry just now. The last 21 games that he's had with 20 or more carries, they've won 17 of those. They're 17-4 when Derrick Henry runs the ball over 20 times.
Mr. Big Leaguer not gonna lie to you, baby. And look, that's just off of pure looking at how it feels like it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like I had no stats to back that, but when the man gets a certain amount of touches, they get the W, bro. And I go further to say they probably never lost when he got 30 plus, or they probably lose even less when he gets 30 plus. Give the man the ball. Not only are you going to score points, but you're going to control the clock. And if you can do those two things, you're going to win football games. But, everybody wants to have a nice pass offense. So, what I mean? Nobody wants to beat you up no more.
All right, and real quick, because I didn't say who I have for MVP. Bryce, I think you said Lamar. Scruffy, you said Jalen.
I said Lamar Jackson.
I said Jameis Winston, though. The end of the season. Remember that.
No, I didn't.
You ain't called Jameis for MVP?
No, I just said he had more touchdowns than Tom Brady. Damn it!
I said you called that man for MVP too.
Nah, bro. I said Jalen was a dark horse MVP though. I did say that.
Might run that tape.
I don't know how y'all missed it, man. The MVP right now has got to be Tua, man. Like y'all talking about Lamar, and you're gonna skip over the guy that just came back and beat Lamar. He's got more yards than Hurts, more touchdowns in the air than Hurts, just as many deep passes. Like how we just
Nah,
gonna skip over
but
Tua?
Lamar Jackson is number one in yard passing and number one in touchdowns, and he's
And
fourth in rushing from
and
QB.
despite all that, Tua won the game.
Hey,
That is
bro, I'm making this
MVP
claim right
caliber.
now.
No. You can't put the defensive fault on Lamar Jackson. Are you fucking crazy?
Right, Tua don't play defensive back.
Yeah,
Bro,
Lamar Jackson don't play defensive back.
Neither does Lamar,
Lamar
but
Jackson.
how does getting the dub not matter now?
Hey,
It's not that it don't matter. We're not gonna make it sound like it was Lamar Jackson's fault that they lost that game.
So head-to-heads don't mean nothing.
No, it does, but it doesn't mean everything. It does mean something, but doesn't mean everything. And when it comes down to it, Lamar Jackson's going down as one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play football, bro. I'm saying it right now. When it's all said and done, he's gonna end up being a top 5 quarterback, bro.
That's all. And I don't disagree with that. But right now, if you're looking at right now, the MVP of the league's got to be Tua.
No,
as great as Lamar is doing,
has like
the edge has to go to Tua.
Lamar Jackson got like 400 yards rushing on this.
There's a couple games where he had 100 plus touchdowns, 100
Lamar
plus
Jackson
yards
already
and a
had
touchdown.
like 200 yards. Lamar Jackson
what I'm telling you is if you're just looking at right now, because we said way too early MVP. I'm not saying that Lamar won't end up being an MVP. I'm saying through 3 weeks, you got to give that nod to Tua off the strength of his team getting the dub in Lamar's house. Like all that matters, bro.
Hey, you know what matters?
Lamar Jackson,
all that matters, bro.
Rushing and passing in the league.
Hey,
all that matters. Then we gotta give it to Jalen.
Lamar Jackson has the same amount of rushing. Lamar Jackson has the same amount of rushing yards as Christian McCaffrey.
Bro, Lamar Jackson has accounted for 82%.
More than DeAndre Swift.
He's accounted for 82% of the Ravens' yards, bro.
Then why? All right. Then this is my rebuttal to all those stats. Why weren't those stats enough to beat Tua's team? Why is it that he has all those great numbers and he still lost to Tua's team?
The game was in the 40s.
Bro, if we're talking MVP, that means your offensive output has to win you the game. It has to win you more games than the other person.
Yes, it does. The most valuable player, bro. The most valuable player, bro. Like that's what it stands for. Tyreek Hill running all by himself behind the defense.
Okay. Who is the most valuable? Who was the most valuable player in that game? Tua. Who was more valuable in that game? Tua or Lamar?
Who was more valuable to the Dolphins in that game? Tyreek Hill or Tua?
Tua, because Tyreek Hill didn't throw it. Tyreek Hill didn't throw it to Jalen Waddle one time.
Bruh.
No. All right. So let me make sense of this equation for you. All right. So most valuable player, right, means the player is the most valued, right? Total. So Lamar Jackson accounted for literally like 98% of the points for the Dolphins. Whereas, Tua can throw it up between 2 golden boy receivers and one of them boys is going to catch it. You have to factor the fact that he has better parts around him into this equation. That's why Lamar Jackson is more valuable, bro.
Look, I'm not denying.
Which Lamar and Tua, man? It's not even. The Dolphins are still a squad, and the Ravens are nothing, bro. With Tua,
hey, I'm not denying.
Last year with Tua, bro.
I'm not denying that Lamar won't end up as the league MVP. I got Lamar going to the Super Bowl this season. That was the Ravens are my pick in the AFC for the Super Bowl. But what I'm saying is, if we're looking at these first 3 weeks, just these first 3 weeks, I got to give my MVP vote to Tua.
All right, go ahead.
Nobody's balled harder so far in the NFL than Lamar Jackson, bro.
Cast your vote, Rome.
Lamar Jackson's on a pace to do better than put up better numbers in his MVP numbers.
Okay, you're projecting right now. Though you're like we're supposed to look at it in these encapsulize these first 3 weeks.
What I'm saying is like he's currently putting up an MVP standard number. I think Tua's balling out of control right now, bro. I'm rocking with Tua heavy, but when you think about not only what Lamar Jackson doing in the passing game, but in the running game as well, bro, it's really not fair. If Lamar has a season like this, if he can keep having a season like this, he gonna win a few MVPs. He gonna end up with like three or four MVPs.
bet. So let's flip the conversation right quick then. Let's rank our top quarterbacks, top 3 quarterbacks in the league right now.
I got
Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen third.
I still got Lamar Jackson top 5, but it's hard to put him over Josh Allen right now. Josh Allen looking like something different.
Well, you just told me Lamar is having record numbers, and now you got 2 people over him.
I mean, bro, numbers don't mean you better than these, bro. Like, hey, bro, hold up, bro. Like,
that's a
don't
fact.
Get me
That's
wrong.
a fact.
Like,
That's
there's
fact.
nobody better than Pat right now. Nobody's better than Pat.
So you got Lamar 3? Because you said Pat, Josh.
Lamar. It's like, bro, can I put Lamar over Brady? It's tough because like Brady and Rodgers.
All right, don't count. We're not counting legacy and all that shit. We're not counting what you've done. Like we counting right this minute.
Right now, and if I'm counting right this minute, I also have to use last year a little bit because like these
yeah.
I can't just take 3 games of this year and be like,
that's a fact.
But like,
you can factor in last year.
Brady was going crazy last year, and he's looking like he got the same arm from last year he got this year, bro. Like maybe the numbers don't reflect it all the way yet, but it's coming. Same with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers not going nowhere, bro. And damn, bro. But Lamar Jackson looks like he's still ascending, and that's the difference. I think when I gotta rank him, it's like, yo, Lamar to me keeps getting better, bro.
Stop beating around the bush and just say your top 3.
I'm gonna put Lamar over them. I'm gonna put Lamar over them right now, bro.
So say your top 3.
I think Lamar got better. I think Lamar's gotten better. So I'm gonna
go.
So
Pat, Josh.
I feel like I'm missing somebody, but then I'm going Lamar, and then I go Brady. Yeah, then I go Brady and Rodgers, yo.
All right.
G, who did G say?
I said Lamar. I said Pat, and I'm gonna put Josh Allen.
You got Lamar 1?
I got Lamar 1 right now.
You think he's the best quarterback in the league?
Right now, best quarterback in the league. If you can tell him he could do it without a true.
I don't know. He's not better than Pat though, bro. Come on, bro.
Bro, he's doing it without a number 1 receiver. He's doing it without Pat, but Pat got weapons.
Yeah.
Pat got weapons.
He got Kelsey, but like
he got Kelsey and
Lamar got Mark.
Lamar got Mark Andrews, bro.
Come on, man.
They pretty close, bro.
Bro, Mark's a dog.
Mark's a dog, but he's not Travis Kelsey, bro. Travis Kelsey's not usual.
But I think they're close enough to where I can't argue that Pat got better weapons than Lamar right now. I can't argue that.
All I'm gonna say is Pat don't run the ball better than Lamar Jackson.
No, but Pat got enough athletic ability to do some things that only he can do as well. Like Lamar got things that only Lamar can do, and Pat got things that only Pat can do, bro. Like throwing with your left on the run, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's spectacular. But all I'm saying for me to stay consistent with what I said about Lamar Jackson being MVP this year, I gotta keep Lamar Jackson number 1, Pat 2, Josh Allen 3, and then between 4 and 5 will have to be. Damn it! I don't want to throw Brady because he hasn't shown me nothing yet, and I'm gonna throw in what's my boy? I'm gonna throw Jalen Hurts because he's balling out his mind.
Wait, what do you mean Brady hasn't shown you anything yet, bro?
Not right now. These last 3 games, he has not shown me nothing where I was just like, wow. He hasn't been throwing the ball consistently. He's looking like he's 40 years old now. And then for number 5, I'm gonna just put who would be my 5th underneath Jalen Hurts?
Let me jump in here.
Yes,
for me the best 5th
quarterback. Your choice is more like power rankings and who's the best, bro. I feel like you're giving power rankings quarterback. Quarterback power rankings.
Yeah, like a power ranking kind of.
Index.
But Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league in my opinion. But I think Lamar Jackson is right there, and I think Josh Allen is right there. But that's my top 3. And then if I had to throw some other guys in there, I also throw in Aaron Rodgers and Justin Herbert if I had to round out my top 5.
Man, Justin Herbert is just a younger Phillip Rivers, man. He a bum. I don't know why y'all people ride that wave. That man's a bum. He a bum.
He's not a
but
bum.
He a bum. He a bum.
Like
he a bum. He a
think
bum.
Burrow's better.
He
I
a
still think
bum.
Burrow's
He a
better, but
bum.
I don't
Because he's
know.
not better than Joe Burrow. He's not better than Joe Burrow.
bro. He's
So
not
how you
Bro,
gonna
I
put
don't
him
know
over
How
Joe
you
about
Burrow?
figure
Then?
he's not
I
better
don't
than
know
Joe
about
Burrow
that.
right
He's
I
now?
don't
not
know
better than
about
Joe
that.
Burrow.
He's not
bro.
better than Joe Burrow.
How you figure that
Not
right
Joe
now?
Burrow.
Bro,
He's
Joe
not better
Burrow
than Joe
got
Burrow.
lucky.
Joe Burrow
How do
got
you?
lucky. What do you mean? He took a team to the Super Bowl.
He had a good run. Okay.
A good
Let's-
run. This is the second season in the league, bro.
One
Joe
good run.
Burrow's
Let's
on
see
his
if
way to being a
let's,
legend,
let's
bro.
I agree with T that he's not likely to go back there.
Ever in his career, you're crazy.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'll tell you by the end of their career, Justin Herbert will have more Super Bowl rings and appearances than Joe Burrow. How about
I'm
that?
not gonna go that far to make that type of claim.
Hey, we can
I
do
mean,
it
there's
this
so
or
much
if
more
you
that
want.
goes into that than
You know
just
what I
that.
mean?
But I'll tell you this, bro. Joe Burrow, he's the best out of them young guys, bro. I'm talking about everyone that's younger than like Lamar and them. You know, not Pat and Josh Allen and Lamar, like a little age group over Joe Burrow and Herbert. In my
No,
opinion.
they're not. They're all the same age group.
No, they're not, bro.
Yes, they are. Look at the age group.
Pat
Joe
been in the league
Burrow
like
came
5
into the league
years.
I guess
25.
because of football, I should say football time in the league, bro. Like Burrow and Herbert came out the same draft, and yeah, I mean, and Lamar and Pat came out the same draft. So I just kind of
No.
associate. Yeah,
Pat came out the year before Lamar, or 2 years before Lamar, if I'm not mistaken.
Lamar and Josh Allen. So is Lamar and Josh
Yeah,
Allen?
Lamar and Josh Allen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Lamar and Josh. So Pat came out the year before Lamar and Josh Allen did. But he started playing the same year.
He started playing the same.
That's
year,
why.
yeah.
That's why it feels like that, because Pat sat that year, so they all started playing the same season basically, and like that's kind of like a little bit different. Maybe they're a few years apart. Joe Burrow's old. I know he's older, but yeah, Joe Burrow's the best of the young guys, bro. Ain't nobody.
He's
messing
not.
They're not messing with Burrow, bro.
He's not.
Burrow different.
So who is it? Like who is it?
Who
I
is
mean, I consider Patrick being one of them young guys, but if we talking about between Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, I'm going with Justin Herbert.
Pat creeping on 30, man.
What?
I said Pat creeping on 30, bro. Like he not like.
Yeah, I was
I
saying
don't
he
know,
might. Yeah, I was saying, but between them two guys you just named, I'm giving you Justin Herbert.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
I'm taking Herbert over Burrow.
But I really take Jalen Hurts over any of them though, because he a real
No, shut the
gamer.
fuck up, man. Shut the fuck
I'm
up.
surprised you
Shut the
didn't
fuck
put
up.
Hurts
You
in
ain't
the
gonna
top
spit.
three.
Shut the
You
fuck up.
put Hurts.
Shut the
You
fuck
put
up.
Hurts above them dudes. What are you talking about?
He a
G?
different kind of
Power
quarterback
rankings?
though. I can't
But
really
not
talk
better
about.
because right now my power rankings is clearer than what they show me right now these last 3 games.
You weren't
I
saying
got
My last 3
respect.
games.
I got
Then I'm
respect.
putting Tua over Hurts, if that's the case.
I got respect for the quarterback
I
position,
respect that,
and I'll say that Jalen Hurts is a different kind of quarterback. It's hard to rank him with a guy like Justin Herbert.
I put Tua
Rodgers.
above Hurts right now too.
That's fine.
I think Tua's better. A better.
I think that's
passer than
fair.
Hurts.
I think you probably should.
But I think Hurts is better on the Hurts running game that he brings is it just changes a lot for defenses, man. Makes
I
it
ain't
a lot
gonna lie. The Eagles' offensive line, damn. I can't wait until they play Dallas because I want to see what they're gonna do to Michael Parsons, bro. Cause that boy is stud, but that Eagles' offensive line, you got some hogs up in there. There's some big boys up in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I ever see some big motherfuckers. There's some big motherfuckers right there. That's why
Big
Jalen
line.
Hurts look good right now.
Yeah.
That's the reason why Jalen Hurts look so good. He got time.
He got time, man. But yeah, that's the point though. He's a different kind of quarterback, man. I put respect. I put respect to it, man. It's different thing we talking about here. 2 different conversations here. But let's switch the gears and conversation, man. We
But
talking
Jalen
about
Herbert,
Hold
a
on, one
bum.
thing on
That
the
motherfucker's a bum.
quarterbacks, yo. One more thing on the quarterbacks before we leave this. Like, I do wonder, like, because thinking a quarterback is good, man, don't really mean shit. Like, there was a time where I thought that like Peyton Manning was like way better than Tom Brady, bro. Like, even if I was, that's what I'm saying. But like now, like when you rank them too, like they're really not close as far as like all-time quarterback rankings, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Peyton's in the top 5, Brady's 1, no question. You know what I'm saying? So they're close, but it's not like it's a lot of distance now. I wonder when it's all said and done, like who out of all of these quarterbacks will go down as that dude. And I wonder if like that dude has even really emerged yet out of these guys, because like I feel like you got to already have a certain amount of resume by now, you know what I mean? But like that's why I feel like it really could be Lamar Jackson when it's all said and done. I feel like when this era is over, we might look back and be like, damn, like people was hating on Lamar, but like he ended up with the most Super Bowls, the most MVPs, the most like I think that's possible, bro. I really think it's possible.
I think regardless of how many Super Bowls he wins or how many MVPs he wins, I think he's going to be looked at in a way like it's kind of the same way AI is looked at in basketball because he never won a chip, but in the fact that he's going to be somebody that just changed the game and the position. I think that's
fuck no. Wait,
you know,
I hate
you Philly fans, bro.
Look. Lamar is definitely right there, right? But the guy that's already there is Pat Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is already the Peyton Manning and the Tom Brady of this generation. He's like you said, bro.
He's what I was.
He's got the resume already.
No, but
he's got the resume already.
Like,
and
if he's Peyton Manning, that means Tom Brady hasn't arrived yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? That means like.
Okay, and you know who's the Tom Brady or the Peyton Manning? You know who his rival is, who his counterpart is? It's Lamar. It's like we were just saying. At one point in time, it was supposed to be Deshaun Watson. That kind of fell off the rails. There was even a point in time where they would play each other and they would kind of promote that game as if it was going to be the next Tom Brady, Peyton Manning thing. I don't know if everybody remembers that, but right now I would say it's definitely Lamar Jackson. And Lamar just has to get those playoff wins and a chip, you know, and then he can really be right there with Pat Mahomes. But as far as that guy that's right now, whose era it is right now, it's Pat Mahomes really versus the field until somebody else really takes that crown of saying, I'm gonna be here year in and year out.
I don't know about that though, bro. Like, and I feel what you're saying though, because I understand that Pat Mahomes has the chip, right? He's got the one chip. But when we're talking about this conversation, bro, it's gonna take more than one chip to be that guy, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? One of these guys going to have to get 2 or 3 of them. One of these guys going to get 4 or 5 of them, bro. Like, somebody got to. Somebody always does.
If we're projecting, bro, who's really gonna do that?
Bro,
like these
Lamar
other guys,
Jackson,
these other guys.
If you take away,
Pat's already got the appearances.
Take away
on
Pat's
top
chip,
of it.
If you take away Pat Mahomes' championship, right? Him and Lamar Jackson have the exact same resume, bro. The exact same resume. They got the same amount of.
What Super Bowl did Lamar go to? What Super Bowl?
Besides the chip, he said.
If you take away the one that he won,
but listen. If you take away the chip, they got the same resume, bro. Like one MVP and one MVP. You got first team All Pro, one first team All Pro, one first team All Pro, one NFL passing touchdown leader, one NFL passing touchdown leader. Damn near would probably have the same amount of Pro Bowls if they played the, you know, I guess Lamar probably missed. Lamar was hurt. Lamar was hurt, so he missed the Pro Bowl, right? So, I mean, I don't know, bro. These guys are right now, they're really the same guy. It's just that I think Pat Mahomes has had a lot better teams around him, bro. And I don't think that's really debatable at this point. Like,
okay. So you rank Pat number 1, but right now it sounds like Lamar is moving up your board, bro.
What I'm saying is I'm talking about once it's all said and done. When we're 10, 15 years past this date, we're gonna look at these guys and we're gonna know who the best one was. Like, you feel me? Like right now, all we can do is speculate. But that's why I brought up the Peyton and Tom Brady, because now with Peyton and Tom Brady, we know who the best one was, right? But at the time, a lot of us felt like Peyton was better, right? So I guess my point is like, yo, they got the same resume minus the one chip right now. If Lamar Jackson somehow falls into 3 chips because they get a better team around him, then his resume is instantly better than – if Lamar Jackson goes back-to-back championships, his resume is instantly better than Pat Mahomes because he already has everything else Pat's got. So, like, can Lamar –
He doesn't, though.
He doesn't because of this. And this is something that really can't be tangible in this conversation in comparison. But, yo – Lamar don't got no coach like that, bro, and I think that's one of the biggest advantages.
I disagree, bro. I like Harbaugh, bro.
I don't think they got I don't think that's the coach and organization that takes him to the next level.
What, brother? If any organization is gonna take you to the next level, it's the Ravens, bro. Like,
what quarterback said they took to the next level?
That doesn't make any sense to me. You got a Super Bowl champion coach. Nah. You got you literally got one of the best, one of the most winningest coaches.
Joe Flacco, one of the all-time great quarterbacks.
What's that?
You say took it, Joe? I'm gonna say about taking the quarterback to the next level, being like a superstar.
Bro, if you can take Joe Flacco, you can definitely take Lamar. Like you know,
you could take him to the Super Bowl, but like you know what I'm saying for that level, like Lamar Jackson. I don't know, bro. I just even though he's doing better this year,
bro.
even though he's doing great this year, I still feel like he's being held back.
Andy never won no chips before Pat Mahomes, bro. He never won no chips. So like, I don't know, bro. I feel like Jim Harbaugh is just good enough coach for sure. But I just think that when it's all said and done with Lamar, it's going to depend on if he can get a good enough team around him and run off a couple chips. You get Lamar Jackson to Tyreek Hill, bro. Switch out Tyreek Hill and Devin Duvernay. And I love Devin Duvernay.
It's not just the chips though, man. It's also what I was saying earlier about the head-to-head matchups, like when we was talking Tua and Lamar for the current MVP race. Like part of the reason people put Brady over Peyton is because when they played each other and it was time to see who was even going to get to the chip, Brady's squad would win damn near every time. I remember the few times that Peyton's squad did get the better of them, but that's really only because it was a few times, like literally a handful. So like what's in our head is that we would see Brady's team in victory and we would see Peyton's team taking an L. So I think, you know, when it's all said and done, not only is Lamar going to have to get a chip to show that he's better than Pat, but he's going to have to beat Pat on the way to getting a chip. Like I think that also needs to be part of who's the better quarterback when it's all said and done down the road.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Possibly, but it might not have to, but possibly though. Like the chips may unfold that never gets to happen, bro. Sometimes we never see. Sometimes you never get to see Floyd fight Pacquiao in both of their primes, bro.
And how disappointing is that? And how disappointing is that?
It's very disappointing, but at the same time, if Lamar gets 2 chips and Pat only ends with 1, Lamar's going down as the better guy, bro. Because they both doing the same shit right now. Slightly different ways.
If Lamar gets 2 chips, I'd be amazed.
I wouldn't. If Lamar gets 2 chips, I would. I think
I said that.
Have a couple chips, bro. When it's all said
I said that to say though that in their NFL careers, Lamar has never beaten Pat. They've lost 3 times. The Ravens have lost to the Chiefs 3 times since they've been the starting quarterback. I don't know if they play this year, but it'll be very interesting because Bryce has a very excellent point. I do kind of think Pat and Lamar are this generation's Brady and Peyton. So
time will tell, bro. Time will ultimately be the ultimate
teller. Time will tell it all who really was better.
It's really going to be the
ultimate
teller.
Like I said, right now, I think Mahomes is better. Like I'm not even saying Lamar better than him. I really think Pat's better, but I'm just saying, bro. And I'll say this also, it might not be neither of them, bro. It might not. A lot
of good quarterbacks.
It might be somebody that we like, that show like it might be Burrow, bro. It might be somebody that's already shown the flashes of greatness, but didn't get there yet. Maybe somebody even older than both of them.
Deshaun Watson.
Maybe Rome's gonna hate this. Maybe it is Stafford, bro. Like if Stafford runs off 3 more chips with the Rams. No, let's be real though. If Stafford runs off 3 more with the Rams, bro, before he's 40. Bro, you know how much that changes him as like
he's gonna be looking good
all-time quarterback rankings, bro.
Yeah,
because he already got crazy passing stats.
It all comes down to the chips.
Like once you get to a certain level, now it's like, bro, you got your chips gonna say a lot for you. Well, so we'll see, man.
Yeah, I mean, if I will agree with that. If Stafford were to find a way to get a second chip, all of a sudden people are going to be looking at him a lot different. But I think he's the guy who does the T-Mobile commercials that are corny as hell. So I don't foresee a second chip for one Matthew Stafford. But,
hey, you ain't like the pizza commercial?
It was better than the T-Mobile one.
We ain't gonna know until both Brady and Brady and Rodgers are both retired though.
Hey,
once they retire,
time is the ultimate teller though. And let's put this in perspective. There was a time when Paul Pierce had more championships than LeBron James. Just put that in perspective for you. That wasn't that long ago.
Man. Don't disrespect the GOAT, Paul, man. Paul Pierce, one of the GOAT. Paul Pierce, one of the most underrated, disrespected NBA players of all time.
I'm just saying there was a time though, and like
fact.
LeBron got way more than him now, and in the legacy
to Paul,
conversation, you can't even put them in the same breath. Respectfully, Paul.
That's a good point though, man. There's levels to it. There's like you gotta get to a certain level to even be at the next fucking level. So.
Yeah, man. So it's levels to it, as we say. And we in the NFL season, we about 3 weeks in, and we starting to see some emergence of some teams. I don't have time to name every team that's a potential contender, but I do have time to name a couple of them that I thought were like, questionably contending. You know what I mean? So here's a couple. Contenders or pretenders is what we're going to call it. And we're going to run through a list. The first team on the list, we're going to go with the 2 undefeated teams first, man. The Dolphins. Contender or pretender? Miami Dolphins. Are Tua and the boys contenders or are they pretenders? Bryce, I'm going to start with you.
Damn. There's no middle ground between contender and pretender. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which kind of sucks. So I feel like they're neither. I don't think they're a contender, bro. Because contending for what? A playoff spot? Yeah. A championship? Hell nah. I'm not smoking with G. I don't know what G are, bro. He on that same shit the boys gave Smokey on Friday. That's what G be on sometimes, man. He made him do that bullshit. But I'd say if I had to lean one way, I'd say pretender, man. If I had to go one way.
That's fair, man. That's fair. I was kind of leaning that way a little bit too, man. But I'm not I'm not answering this question. I'm just asking them. Rome, G's on mute. So Rome, you're next.
Contender, man, contender, and I'm not, on the fence like Bryce, man. I think Miami definitely has a team that could make some serious noise in the playoffs, man. All it takes is an upset here, upset there. They already got one up on the Bills now, which is actually huge. You rack up enough wins, the Bills take an L here or there. All of a sudden, you're home field advantage. Playing in Miami in January, February sounds a hell of a lot better than playing in Buffalo in January or February if you are indeed the Miami Dolphins. So I don't want to undersell this last win, man. I don't want to undersell the streak that the Dolphins are on, man. Tua is my current MVP, and they are most definitely contenders.
Well, G, I already know what you're going to say, so I'm not even going to bother asking you, right? They're a contender, right?
Yes, sir. I already told you, Super Bowl champs.
Bonus round. They play the Bengals tomorrow. The team that G, you said.
No. 2 days.
Oh, whatever. Technically, 2 days from now. So they play the Bengals on Thursday Night Football. Who y'all got in that game? Dolphins or Bengals?
I got Miami.
Wait. Hold up, bro. Scrub's not about to fool me. He's not about to get a free pick out of me. All Scrub trying to do is get my pick so he can use it for his pick-up. Because your man was feeling himself after a few games. After a few games Sunday, the standings had, kind of evened up. You got your man Scrub was feeling himself. And at the end of the day, he was right back where he started. So I see what he's doing. You see how he's trying not to answer the question. He's just trying to gather intel for his picks, bro. I'm not going for it, bro.
I'll let you know who I'm picking right now. I'm picking the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins continue on with their streak and they beat the Bengals. And they're getting 3.5 points. So fuck yeah, I'm going with the Dolphins.
All right, well, guess what? I'm going the opposite direction, man. I just told y'all earlier that Joe Burrow is the best quarterback out of the young crop. And that young crop does indeed include Tua Tagovailoa, man. I got Joe Burrow beating them. I got the Bengals having their back to reality game where they snap back to it. And I'm gonna go with I actually got a low scoring game, man. I think we've seen something like 22-17 Bengals.
Watch that spread, Bryce. Watch that spread. That's gonna be a
close
game.
It's 3.5, right?
3.5 plus 3.5.
Yeah, I got my squad. I got Bengals getting it. I got the Bengals getting that spread.
Yes, I don't got them covering that 3.5, bro. If they do win, it's gonna be a close one. But all right, bro. Let's move on.
Let's not forget. I'm not gonna give you no insight. I was about to give you some insight, but I know you're gonna use it, man.
Probably. Let's move on, man. The Philadelphia Eagles, man, 3-0. Doing pretty good. Beat up on your local Washington football team, Commanders, whatever y'all going by. I might need to change the name again next year. But who y'all got, man? Contender, pretender for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think we're contenders. I think you know that. But Rome, let's start with you.
I definitely say contenders for the Eagles, man. I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't contend in the NFC. The NFC isn't particularly strong. They could and probably should win the NFC East. And like I said, the NFC as a whole isn't crazy strong right now. So if Jalen Hurts can, play when the going gets rough, I think I mentioned it on the pre-show. The Eagles haven't played from behind yet. They've been ahead in every game so far this season. So I'm interested to see how Jalen Hurts and them play when they get hit in the mouth. So far they've come out, they've hit every team in the mouth, and respect to them. That says that you're doing what you need to do. But I need to see what happens when they're playing from behind, when they need to get in them trenches with another team, and then see how they come out swinging then. But yeah, I'll definitely say contender.
Trenches. We're pretty stocked up there. G man, contender pretender, man.
I'm gonna go with Pretenders, man. These guys only played the Lions. They play these bum ass. They play these bum ass fucking scrub lovers over here. And who else y'all play?
The
You
Vikings.
guys
The
ain't.
Vikings.
And the Vikings, we all know about Kirk Cousins and Monday nights. The man just don't know how to fucking wake up from a Sunday slumber. So I'm gonna say Pretenders as of right now, man. You guys ain't beat nobody yet, man. If anything, man, it's like Mr. Krabs stepping on plankton right now. That's all I've been watching you guys do. You ain't done nothing that we expect you guys to do as of late.
Bryce, last one.
It's a long season, ain't it, fellas? Pretender, definite pretender, man. It look good right now, don't it? I bet it feels good too to be 3-0, but 3-3 ain't gonna feel as good, man.
All right, fair enough. That's fair. All right, I got another one. We're gonna go head over to the AFC West, where there's a team out there that's 2-1. Not the Chiefs, because we all know that they're contenders. Let's not be foolish. But the Broncos, who won a boo-boo game on Sunday Night Football with Jimmy G. Shout out Jimmy G. Shout out to the 49ers. Shout out to the 49ers faithful fans out here. Shout out my man B went viral today on the Jimmy G tweet. But the Broncos are 2-1 currently leading the division, and I think they're pretenders. I think they're fugazi. But I want to hear what y'all got to say, man. Contender, pretender on the Broncos. G, I'm going to start with you.
Pretenders to the max. We at least thought this offense would be kicking and running, or just go out with Russell Wilson. As of yet, Russell Wilson does not look like the quarterback you should be playing over 200 million right now. It's true what my boy Eli Manning said. I should have just paid the kicker that kind of money, because goddamn, the kicker has been winning this shit the whole time. They're pretenders all the way, man. I don't see them going nowhere.
Yeah, I think Russ might have seen something coming or whatever the case. Maybe I don't know if it's because he ain't got the coach combination or whatever, but he about to be looking like he's stealing checks over there. It seemed like. We'll see, bro. I think the Russell Wilson that we know and love does not exist outside of Seattle. Maybe I don't know, or maybe he's just past his expiration date. I'm not sure. Bro, man, what you thinking? Contender or pretender for Broncos and Russell Wilson?
Man, it's a tough one, man, because it doesn't look pretty. But one of my original hot takes was that every team in the AFC West would somehow make the playoffs this year. The Raiders are looking like trash right now at 0-3, and the Broncos are ugly 2-1. But I must stick with Denver right now, man, and I'm gonna say contender only because I think they got a fairly weak schedule. I think Russ, as a veteran QB, does enough to keep them alive. And I think if they get in the playoffs, man, and they get clicking, that's all it really takes, man, is to go on a run. So I'm gonna say contenders because I think the Broncos will get hot at the right time.
Bryce, what's your verdict on Russell Wilson and the Broncos? Contender, pretender?
Wait. What are we? I need some clarity, man. Contending. What are we contending for here, bro?
Playoff spots.
Playoff spots. That's it.
Yeah,
It's way too early to say. It's way too early to say championship.
My bad. Because contending for a playoff spot really ain't shit. That's basically everybody right now is contending for a playoff spot 3 games in. But if I had to say,
it's really no wrong answer.
I'll say the Broncos are contending for a playoff spot. Sure. I mean, I think that Russell Wilson's 2-1 without really having continuity with any of his weapons yet. You can see it starting to develop with Cortland Sutton a little bit. Hopefully he stays healthy. Judy, is Judy healthy? Judy's still good, right? I mean, because I saw them getting a little chemistry as well. I'm still waiting for Albert O to do something, man. Albert O supposed to be that guy at tight end, and I don't know. It's coming along a little slow. But I mean, they got plenty of weapons in Denver. They got a crazy running game with Melvin.
No, not really, man. Jamal Williams looking like a bust.
Javonte Williams?
Yeah, he ain't all that.
He's a dog. I mean, he's not putting up crazy numbers, but they're not giving him a whole lot of carries. They got a 50-50 split over there, bro. If you drafted Javonte Williams in fantasy football, I think he was going to be a bell cow. I mean, and you knew Melvin Gordon played for the Broncos. That was on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a fantasy stud yet, but he's a great really good running back.
I'll take him over.
A pretty good running back, too.
I'll take him over anybody on my squad right now.
No, Javonte Williams is a dog, bro.
But he's doing way better than Alvin Kamara. I'll tell you that.
Yo, they still all getting acclimated. They're trying to figure out their identity. That's the Broncos' problem. They don't have an identity yet. We'll see how long it takes them to get.
That's true. Moving on to a team.
My bad. I gotta say one more thing, yo. And I think that's what's been separating the Eagles so far this season, yo. Like, they got an identity already. They found their identity last season, and they've stuck to it early this season. While I feel like a lot of the teams, especially the teams they played, are searching for an identity, bro. And the longer you search, the harder it is to be confident in your identity. But the longer you have your identity, the easier it is to game plan for it. So it is a catch-22 a little bit, and we'll see how it ends up for that team.
That's right, man. That's right. A team that might be starting to find their identity, the Jacksonville Jaguars. 2-1, I believe. Doing pretty good. They did lose to the Commanders. But they are off 2 wins, looking like a decent football team, looking like a competent football team to some degree. Trevor Lawrence, among some people, say that he is in the MVP conversation, they said. Some people are saying. Contender or pretender for the Jacksonville Jaguars? G.
Contenders, because that goddamn Forsaken division is horrible.
This is true.
Titans barely even just got the win against the Raiders, and then you got Houston with fucking a donut still, and then you got the Colts that got that lucky win off the Chiefs. You should have lost that game. So yeah, these guys are contenders because clearly, man, that division is fucking hot garbage.
Yeah, that division is kind of trash, dog. Bryce, man, what you think about the Jags?
I gotta go contenders. Since we basing it on playoff spot contending, I think they can contend for a playoff spot. I said earlier, I see them in that 7-9 range, 8-9 win range based off what I've seen. I think as teams are trying to find their identity, they look like one that's getting closer and closer to theirs. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a good thing going with those 2 running backs, and the play action is starting to work for Trevor Lawrence. So I think you keep feeding those running backs, and you could possibly make a playoff spot, man. Shout out to the doctor that fixed James Robinson's Achilles, bro. I ain't never seen a player bounce back from an Achilles injury the way James Robinson is, man. Everybody slept on him in fantasy football. Everybody slept on that man in fantasy football.
Whoa. I have him in all my big money leagues.
He's literally my starting running back right now. I don't want to hear that everybody slept on him.
I ain't saying y'all. I'm talking about as far as ADP
the general
goes.
public, my guy.
Okay,
No.
Okay,
I didn't say you might have on your team, but what round did you draft him in?
I got him starting. He started every game for me.
If you were to redraft fantasy football leagues right now, James Robinson's a first round or second round pick, and he was going in 5th, 6th rounds, bro. He's gonna start still, but he was going late, bro. And last year he went early, and everybody slept on him because of that Achilles. And that man is shout out to the doctor and shout out to James Robinson, bro.
Shout out to that doctor, actually. Mac Jones, apparently. Was it Mac Jones? Somebody about to meet with that doctor soon, apparently. I think it might be Mac Jones.
Mac Jones was his ankle, though, right?
Yeah, you're getting a second opinion with that same doctor. Same doctor also did Kevin Durant's Achilles, so pretty good doctor.
That man,
a lot of money in being a doctor.
That show held up, bro.
Hey, that man is the Achilles goat, bro. I'm trying to tell you, that man is gonna repair your Achilles, give him some duct tape and a rubber band, and you're gonna get your Achilles straight, bro.
Yeah,
So
that man the truth when it comes to that joint.
he the Dr. Miami of Achilles.
That's right. That's right. That's right. All right. Two more, man. The Minnesota Vikings, man. Rome. Pick them, win the Super Bowl or something like that.
To make it. I never said my winner. I never said my winner.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Rome, are they contenders?
Oh, most definitely, bro. The Vikings are definitely still contenders. They got a strong running game, which is a key to being a contender for the Super Bowl, as anyone would know. And they got a veteran quarterback, man, and their defense is only going to get better over time. So Vikings for me are still easily a contender. The only issue that I see with the Vikings is Kirk Cousin having night terrors on prime time. Like whatever that is, he's got to get over that. That is the ghost that haunts Kirk Cousins. So if Kirk can get past that, man, then I'm feeling confident in my pick.
Yeah, man. Recency bias. I was watching y'all last week. All destroy Kirk Cousins, and I think that y'all are being a little hasty. G man, contender or pretender for the Minnesota Vikings?
I'm gonna say pretenders because there's no way in hell that you have Justin Jefferson and you're not throwing him the ball. Last week was an anomaly that they beat the Lions, maybe because they just used to beating up on the Lions. I don't think you can win that division like that, especially if you rely on Kirk Cousins to throw the ball.
Nah,
Word,
you
man.
know what it was with Justin Jefferson, man. Jeff
Got
Okuda, I
locked.
know, yeah, Jeff Okuda from a couple seasons ago he was a top pick. I don't know if people forgetting about him, but he's finally starting to show his talent, man. Like he locked up Terry the week before. Dude has been balling. Dude has been balling.
Got locked up. Bryce, man. I know this your guy, man. I know you got a lot of good memories with Kirk, and the Vikings, man. Contenders or pretenders, though.
I got no hate in my heart for Kirk Cousins, man. But if we talking about contending for playoff spots, damn. I'll say they're contenders, but I think that's Kirk Cousins' ceiling, bro. That's the Kirk Cousins Vikings ceiling. Is contender for a playoff spot. That's what they are, bro. They'll be contending for a playoff spot. That doesn't mean they'll make it or not make it. Chances are they'll contend and not make it. They'll be one of those last teams on the bubble. They'll be in the hunt for the last 4 weeks. Every week they'll be in the hunt, bro. That's what they'll be. They'll be in the hunt.
That's fair, but that's a real place, though. Actually, I can see that. It's a real place. All right.
In the hunt, it's a dark place, man. In the
It's
hunt,
tough,
is a dark
bro.
place to be.
It's a tough spot, bro.
Because
you're like,
week to week life.
because technically you're in the hunt, but really you all know like you're like one shot away from getting, ending the race.
Because you know what comes after in the hunt screen, right? The next screen is that mathematically eliminations. They start showing the mathematical eliminations. If this team loses this team, and if this team beats this team by in overtime or some shit, and you'd be like, damn, my team needs all these teams to lose, and we need to tie with these fools to make the playoffs. It's over. It's over.
Hey man, I remember Philly was one of those teams last year, and we ended up making it. So, last one, man. We all got to watch the the Monday Night Football game last night between the Giants and the Cowboys. The Giants were undefeated entering the game, and the Cowboys came and they ended up even in the score, and they both are 2-1. So 2-for-1 special on this one. Contender or pretender, the Giants or the Cowboys? You're either one of these teams contenders. Bryce, I'm gonna start with you.
They're contending to see which team is better than the other. I'll give them that. I mean, like neither team is contending for shit over there. Contending for what, man? Contending to see who gets a better draft pick. I mean,
Yeah,
if that comes back in time, I can see the Cowboys getting back, but I'm selling both of those teams, man.
Wrong?
yeah, we're pretending like this question is relevant. I agree with Bryce though, because I had the Cowboys winning the East. So if Dak can somehow get back in time, Jerry Jones, I don't know if anybody been listening to this man talk. Jerry Jones is talking like, Dak ain't nothing wrong. Dak gonna be back tomorrow. But I don't buy any of that. I think Dak's gonna miss a couple more weeks. But if Cooper Rush can somehow keep them afloat and then Dak can get back, then maybe they're contenders. But that is a giant if. So I gotta go pretenders. And the Giants have always been pretenders. The Giants have been nothing but fool's gold this whole season, bro. As a matter of fact, they're the reason I'm at the damn Survivor League because the goddamn Titans couldn't make. Yeah, don't even get me started, man. Don't even get me started.
Hey, shout out to the Survivor League champ though. Before we go any further, man, yours truly, Mr. Big Leaguer, man, Survivor League champ, and I'm coming for the pick'em too. I'm gonna sweep that this year. Man.
Hey, but how you doing in the Gas Fantasy League again?
What?
Hey, you're currently looking at right here in the top two boxes, the bottom two teams in the fantasy football league.
It's all good though. You feel me? Because rough starts sometimes end in greener pastures, and you know we gonna get there. We gonna get there.
Hey, Bryce's theme for this
Tough
whole
game.
show. Bryce's theme for the whole show. It's a long season.
Yeah, right.
It's a long. Hey,
True.
no MF in between long and season. It's my real thing. It's a long month and season, man. Don't worry, we're gonna be back.
Yeah,
But guess what wasn't that long though? That Survivor League.
Nah, man. It wasn't
real short.
Wasn't long at all.
There's only
man.
one man remaining, bro. Let's go.
Bryce, you survived all the way to week 3, man. Congrats.
Hey, look, I would have survived longer if anyone would have lasted with me. Pause.
Yeah.
Ah, man. Gee, you care about either of these teams?
I'm gonna say the Giants are pretenders. They have no offensive weapons besides Daniel Jones and fucking Saquon Barkley. They clearly validate that was the worst contract we ever fucking did in our lives.
You was hyped for that too, bro.
I was. I thought my man was gonna be good, but all of a sudden my man went from having good hands to having butterfingers. All of a sudden, I don't know what the fuck to say about it. Then I'm gonna say Dallas are contenders, man. That defense is legit. They have 13 sacks, the most sacks in all the defense right now. And that kid, Michael Parsons, man, I love that man. He's the truth, man. He got the rest of that defensive line just doing their job, and I believe in Dallas, man. And look, they've been able to win 2 games without Dak. They're about to go ahead and beat up on these 2 bums again, and we're about to watch these 2 losers next to me cry next Tuesday, and try to explain to America and the rest of the world on why the Commanders are a legit team again. Every year, we're this awesome. Bruh, DC sports sucks. The last thing that ever came good was Washington Nationals.
Yeah,
that's about it.
We're not about to sit here. You're not about to sit here and take the Commanders and tell me that DC sports suck when you're a Yankee fan. When was the last time y'all won a damn Super Bowl? What town won or a World Series? What town has won the most recent World Series, Mr. Baseball fan? Let's throw Aaron Judge at the top of the show. Oh, pitch to him. Hey, which city has won a World Series most recently?
It was in Houston.
Between DC and New York. Between DC and New York. When was the last time New York won one?
New York.
When was the last? When did y'all win a series? When
and
was
no
that?
one ever talks about DC regardless besides you 2 bozos. That's why y'all losing your airlines.
When was that?
Look at y'all. When I first seen you 2 bozos, look at y'all. Y'all weren't saying nothing to me. All I seen is your pearly whites.
Hey, you want to talk?
That's what I came into the show.
Sports.
All I seen is a bunch of pearly whites.
Which city got the better hockey squad? Which city got the better hockey squad?
The Rangers, my boy.
You talking sports?
Rangers. The Rangers.
Everything about DC sports is better than New York.
It's trash. No, it's not.
Everything
bro. You
about
don't even
it.
believe that shit.
Everything about it. Everything about it.
Hey, yo,
I believe everything about it, bro.
No, you don't.
Every team we have. Do you have a soccer team?
Y'all talking about Romero being the truth. Oh my God, Romero's gonna change our organization. Oh, Young is gonna be the greatest DN. Oh my God, we got this. Y'all bunch of bozos. Y'all team suck. Y'all are the bottom of the country. Y'all are a tongue bucket. No, y'all not better than us. We got a better record right now. All right, bet. Say less. All right. Y'all the bottom feeders. Y'all the chump buckets.
See you week.
Y'all the chump buckets.
See you week.
Yo, okay, chump buckets.
Just remember who had to come on here with the bag on their head. Just remember which city had to have the bag on their head. You didn't see no DC fans with a bag on their head.
You came on here with a bag on your head, bro. I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't ever want to hear nothing.
Because I'm a true fan. I'm a true fan. I don't live in denial. Y'all live in denial. You come here every year. The Wizards are going to the finals. The Wizards are going to the finals.
Bro, I tried to spare the Knicks. I tried to spare the Knicks. I tried not to bring the Knicks into it.
I'm not a Knicks fan.
But New York sports is so much better. New York sports is so much better.
I think the Knicks suck. I think the Knicks are trash. I hope the Knicks catch on fire. But did you ever call me a Knicks fan in your life? But you fix your mouth and say that shit. That's a sit in my house.
And that comes from a New York sports fan. Don't ever say that I like my basketball team because that's how trash
That's not my basketball team. That's not my basketball team.
New York sports,
not like this. I think the Knicks are trash. I'm not Spike Lee. I'm not Bryce that swears the first 2 weeks of basketball my team is going to the playoffs. But after that, it never happens. It never happens.
You know what you are, G?
What am I?
You're an habitual loser, G.
Nah, you're an habitual loser. You're an habitual denier.
It's a habit for you, boy.
Boy, that's what you live.
It's gonna remain that way. And I want my $20. I want my $20 to come week 18 when y'all do not have 8 wins. You just said your team's not a contender, but you got to bet that they're gonna get over 8 wins. Somebody make it make sense, bro.
You could just be a plus.
New York sports. It doesn't make sense.
You could be a plus 500. You could be a 500 team, and that's 8 wins, right?
I couldn't believe he said.
NFL season now, man.
17. So we could win 9 games. So all I give a fuck. Are you still gonna end up giving me $20?
You don't have to
win 9 wins. Probably make y'all a contender for a playoff spot.
8 wins don't make it.
Y'all are a pretender. So just give me my $20 right now.
Hey, listen, my man. Just know that I don't live the misery that you live by. I saw Carson Wentz was gonna take out to the promised land.
Have you ever been to a parade?
I never said that.
I have been to a parade. I went to 2.
Parade you go to?
07 and 11.
Man, 07. I was still in high school.
Thank you. I went and 09 with the Yankees. And what?
All right, man.
All right.
Hey, what was that Nationals parade though? That was right before the pandemic.
Bro, you didn't even go to that, bro. You're not even a Nationals fan, bro. From what I heard, you love Tampa.
What? Tampa? Exactly. What? Tampa?
Put the Rays on the random.
Y'all don't even watch the Nationals.
Hey, G, you wild for that. You gave the Tampa Bay Rays out of nowhere though.
Hey man, Nationals running the blood, man. We go to games every year, man. I take the boys, bro.
Yeah, I go to free games. Y'all go to dollar games.
We big Nats fans over here. We big Nats fans over here.
Bro, y'all go to dollar games. Anybody going to Nationals, bro?
Let's
go. People break into y'all cars to drop off tickets and y'all here have them. We out. No one. That's the only way y'all get free national tickets. They break into your car to leave tickets in.
Hey, next season, Yankees, Nats. I don't care where it's at, man. We pulling up. We got to make it happen. Gas at a baseball game.
Hey, y'all know I'm always at the Nats game, so I'm with that.
You know what? That actually probably be down because they probably be affordable tickets.
Exactly.
Oh, they'll be more than affordable. We're talking about baseball.
Well,
we're talking about the Nationals, the dollar tickets.
Nah, bro. National tickets aren't no dollar tickets. If you want to be in the league, you can get cheap tickets any game if you want to be in the nosebleeds.
They might make it $1. They'll be like, oh, the Yankees coming to town.
See, the free tickets there. They go from free to $1 because of the Yankees.
Niggas be sold out when the Yankees come to town.
Nah, it'll be a hype game.
Yeah.
When they're good.
Either way, the DC sports culture is much better than the New York.
I'll say this, DC sports culture, bro. The DC sports culture is impacted by a lot of different factors. I'll say that. One of the factors for a few of the teams is the fact they've been so trash over a long period of time. And that's really only for the Redskins, bro. for the other teams, yo, DC is always gonna be tough because it's a commuter town. It's a transplant city, bro. Most people that live in DC just come there to work, man. Like it's a lot of people that live here are fans of other teams because they come here to work for the government, bro. So we never gonna have that. Like every game is gonna be other teams' fans, bro.
I think what it is in his heart is it's the football town and the football team ain't been shit for a minute. That's really what the problem is. Let the Commanders ever be good for a sustainable point, and DC sports will be the talk of the entire nation.
I'm gonna tell you something right here,
Rome. Spot to cut it off right there, Rome. I'm
gonna tell you something right here, Rome.
The whole show.
Y'all should never name yourselves the Commanders. That's all I'm gonna say. Ain't no good team ever. For some reason, I
thought something more profound was about to come out of that. I thought my man stopped us to have some sort of great proclamation. He just said what everyone else has said a million times.
No, I'm just saying, like, ain't no Commanders ever gonna win no Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like people were saying that about the Eagles for a while, and then
they did.
They finally broke through.
Eagles are actually, like a decent like mascot. What the fucking Commanders? Like, what is that,
bro? Come on now, like the whole. Oh, what is a commander? Like, what the fuck? Like, we got a Bengal. Like what?
Sure
we got
nigga. Bengals are cool ass animals, nigga. You named after the military.
We got Jets. We got Jaguars, bro. Like it's random.
A gun will shoot down the eagle. A gun will
shoot
down
the. You know what I mean? Like what are we saying? It's a team name.
Like, also the Giants is missing out on a major branding opportunity, and they shouldn't be NYG. They should have a fucking giant as their logo. Like, what the fuck?
We do. It's an old school logo.
Like, and they should be and they should be green. Like to get the Jolly Green Giant in town, he could be our mascot.
The Giants logo should be Andre the Giant's face. It should be on every helmet. Just saying, bro.
The Giants logo should be G with the bag over his face because that just summarizes New York sports.
Trash! Get him the fuck out of here. Get him the fuck out of
here. Yeah. I think that's a good place to call it, man. It's been a good night, man. It's been a great week. Next week's going to be an even better week, man. Continuing on the NFL, man. It's been a great ride with y'all, man. Any last words before we...
Shout out to Alvin Pujols, the first non-American born to hit a 700 home run and never been accused of steroids.
Depends who you ask.
We're not gonna put no dirt on the man. The man did something that no non-American has ever done.
Todos frijoles y arroz, see?
I hate you. I hate you. How's this supposed to be for the culture? But man, Alvin Pujols did it. Yeah, y'all some Frank Levin whores. I see y'all.
I don't know.
Tonight, though, fellas.
I don't know, man. I can't speak to his legitimacy, but I can speak to our legitimacy. We are the best sports show in the world, and that is totally unjuiced. No speculations over here. We are organic. That gas, that cocaine. You know how we end every show, man. Sports for the culture.